Can be. I mean, it can be humid, it can be dry.
Dr. Jim Miller at New York's Botanical Garden has scientifically described scores of plant species, and every one of those explanations had to be written in lengthy, laborious Latin.
Primula, folius integerimus, glabrous oblongus.
But come January the 1st, 2012, those days will be over, and for the first time in hundreds of years, botanical descriptions may be written in English. Genus and species names will retain their Latin origins, but the International Botanical Congress has voted to do away with the compulsory Latin plant descriptions they've always followed. Once the accepted language of scientific research, Miller believes Latin has become an almost universally inaccessible language. And he says the intent for the Congress's decision is clear: to simplify the naming and describing of plant species.
All of this stuff underlies a desire to facilitate and simplify naming, describing, and cataloging the world's plants. We probably have 15 to 20% of the plants that exist on this planet left to describe and name. 50, maybe 100,000 species still have not been described. And we're racing against the clock to get them described before the forests that they're in are cleared and they're extirpated.
Miller says he's convinced that many plant species have become extinct before the process of publishing descriptions had been completed. And without a description, existing endangered plants can't be protected.
We know of lots of instances in which plants have been described and they're either teetering on the brink of extinction or we can no longer document that they exist.
With about 50 to 100,000 plant species yet to be named and described, Miller says the changes will make the process more efficient, as will another new rule, allowing the publication of new descriptions online rather than only in print.
We as a community really are struggling to describe the organisms that are out there in a way that satisfactorily lets us communicate about them, think about which ones are conservation concern in the future. If we don't have a list of the world species, we don't know which ones are endangered.
According to Miller, undiscovered plant species could hold a key in future breakthroughs in medical treatment. But if descriptions never see the light of day, those species could well disappear before scientists find out they ever existed. Tyra Cleary, Reuters.